Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday evening, 6:30 p.m., October 15th. Price of Bitcoin currently at $11,512. We've had some really nice movement over the last several hours, which is indicative to me that the bulls are stepping up to the plate. It looks like on pretty much every time frame, we've done some solid damage towards the bearish narrative, and that has caused me to close down my short position, which was a 8% loss, which again, previous hedge for my altcoin positions. But now I feel a little bit lighter, all right? Even though it's a losing position, I now have a bit more clarity on direction. And that to me, I think is worth knowing that, okay, I get to close down my short. I don't have uncertainty. Now I get to dive into a heavier position on the long side. So I'm going to start explaining some of my reasoning, starting off from even the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so here's where I'm going to start building my bull case. So earlier this morning, remember that we were right here. Literally around the morning time when I did my analysis, we were down here. And then we pushed up right through the monthly open, consolidated right around this area of this pivot, which is today's pivot. And on top of that, we had this descending trend line. So we broke the monthly open, the daily pivot, and this key SR level, which is around $11,460. And we smashed up all the way, taking out stops for short positions above this high, and causing a squeeze all the way up to $11,650. So we did all that in literally just today's daily candle. Now this to me tells me that at least where we are right now has far more bullish signs than it does bearish. Now we are still well under this current resistance, because right, like I said last week, or not last week, I guess earlier this week, I feel like it's been a long week. This consolidation, I've seen consolidations like this before, where a price pops up and then quickly just shoots right back under that area and then tests it as resistance, resistance, and then resistance again, right? So these consolidation areas are the ones that are real resistance. So you could see price was being capped right there, being capped right there, and basically being capped right around this area as well, okay? But today we did something very unique, which, like I said, aside from breaking through key resistance levels like this monthly open, like this pivot level, and then of course this key SR level, which is around 11,460, we also squeezed up all the way towards that September monthly open with this big candle, with this big wick. But if you look back on my analysis, on my Bitcoin analysis, I had stated that if we start consolidating right under this 11.5K area, which is exactly what we're doing in my opinion, okay, we squeezed up all the way up here, rejected, and now again, you can see we're grinding or trying to grind up back again. This to me tells me that we're probably in a more of a bullish posture, because we've established this key area support, this key area support, and now we need to just push up right through it, hold, and then we're ripping. I'm fairly certain after we get through this area, we're at least going to head easily back towards 11,750, which is this key high resistance, and quite possibly, if that doesn't even hold us, I think it might be one of those candles where, I don't know, today, tomorrow, this weekend, we might have that $500 to $1,000 candle going up to 12,000 or 12,500. I know it sounds a bit, I don't know, outlandish right now, but I've been watching this market for the past several days, and honestly, you know, like I said before, even in this area, I really wasn't convinced of the bearish narrative, right? I told y'all that over in this area, I really need to start seeing breakdowns below this 11,235 support, below 11,190 support, And again, I can zoom into that, which is this key support and this key support, but we didn't even get that. You could see what happened was we made a big candle push up, rejected at 11,750, got sent back down, found, decent support, and we based out right literally around 11,300, and now we're making our way back up. See, that to me is not a good sign of bearish pressure. Okay, this to me was like a push up, sharp rejection, but then everything got absorbed in this area, and then the bull started pressing again. So where I am right now is I'm now going to start building more long positions by end of today, tomorrow, and quite possibly this weekend. I will more than likely start building more long positions, but I'm reluctant to do it right away after I just closed out my short, because I want to see how the daily is going to close, because I'd love to see a daily close somewhere above this area, like 11,600, 11,700. And if it's not today's daily, maybe tomorrow's daily. But in any case, I'm still now looking at the market thinking, okay, well, it looks like the bears are not able to force the price down. Even from a daily standpoint, you can see a decent rejection of this red candle right here, this red daily candle. But, the wick on this candle, as you can see, is half the size of the body. So that to me is indicative of, okay, the bulls and the bears and this red candle right here were equally strong. Then you have this candle, which again, the wick on both sides is pretty equal, right? And the price basically closed as a doji, meaning it opened where it closed. So this again, to me, was absorption. Now, after absorption, when you start seeing a candle like this tells me, okay, maybe the bulls have a little bit more strength and maybe the bulls are on the offensive. So this is kind of where I am, and that's why I'm starting to position myself a bit more long. If you want to be a little bit more safe and you still feel like the market might dump, this is all you have to wait for. Across above this X, as price moves up past it, that's your signal, because after you've done that, what you've effectively eliminated is the strength, or rather the structural change that you're betting against. So that's the key high, this is the key low, this is the lower high, this is the lower low. What we're looking for is, a higher low right here or a higher low right here after this thing puts in a higher high. Now, remember that after you put in a higher high, it's not necessary that you have to, go up here and then pull back all the way down here or down here. It's very possible. Oops, I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's very possible that what price could do is something like this. So let's delete this stuff. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go to the object tree. Brush, 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 brush. Okay. So what you could do is you could say, okay, well, when price gets above this area, any pullback that you get, whether it's $100, $200, $400, you buy that and you start riding that up. That's the other alternative, okay? But I feel a little bit better here as I see this consolidation happening in this area. As I saw the ES start to tick up again, these things are telling me that, okay, I should feel comfortable longing this. It doesn't mean I have to go all in, into my long. It just means that it's probably not the best scenario to be short in, right? Yeah, it's possible that maybe from here we get another pullback, but I could be wrong. Maybe from here we don't get a deeper pullback and we just go straight up. So I don't really want to bet on, this thing pulling back $200, $300 and giving me a proper exit. It may not happen, and I don't want to be caught, on my back foot, knowing that I see these trend changes and yet I still ignore them, right? Because technicals are all about the probabilities and the possibilities of what we see in the market. And the probabilities, in my opinion, right now are stacking up more so towards the more bullish narrative. All right. So let's see. RSI still looks good. I mean, ticking up very nicely. No issues there. OBV, same thing. I'm not seeing any issues in unbalanced volume. Again, this has all to do with the understanding of money flows that are going into this particular asset. So that looks pretty decent. Let's check out some other altcoins, right? Theta, one of my favorites. Doing okay. I really didn't like this trend line break, but we'll see how it goes, tomorrow and going into the weekend time. Let's check out ETH. So this is where I become a little bit more interested in ETH because, as I stated, the one area that I've been cautiously watching is this key high of this triangle, this orange triangle that you see. These kinds of ascending triangles where you have, swift sell-off, then you have a high created, then you have a higher low, then you have another high right here, maybe another higher low. Once you start breaking out of here, I mean, that's a pretty solid, movement to the upside that you get because you've now had from here to where we are right now, a good month and a half of consolidation, and quite possibly this is a reaccumulation. So from here, all you really do is, if you want to take the long side of the trade, well, you're effectively doing something like this. You are measuring the depth of this triangle from here, and you move this out. Let's just say we get the breakout, tomorrow, right? Well, the measured move from here after the breakout, so let's get that properly, is right around this 480 marker, right around this key high. So if this thing breaks out to the upside, the general target I'm looking for is 480. Now, of course, there's other resistance levels in the way, like these R1, R2 levels and stuff. But again, just as per measurement of a triangle breakout, that's what you should be looking forward to. The Ichimoku cloud on ETH on the daily time frame also looks interesting because we held the bottom area of the cloud quite well. You can even see right here, held the support quite well. And now we're trying to break through the cloud and hold above it. If we do that, again, the only real resistance that we have is right there around 400. After that, I think we might just go guns blazing all the way towards 480, $500, okay? I had spoken about the Bollinger Band outlook as well as the Ichimoku Cloud outlook for Advantage members this morning. Same thing, right? If we're kind of looking at the daily Ichimoku Cloud, it's very simple to look at. This red line right here, Tenkan line, it has held, generally as decent support over the last one day right here. And then, of course, today was another decent day of coming close to that Tenkan line, finding support. And so generally, if you've seen bullish crosses of Tenkan and Kijun line, which the blue line is a Kijun, the red line is a Tenkan line, you could see right here, for example, there's a bullish cross right here, red below the blue. So that's what we call a bullish cross. And you can see, again, you see a massive upside, right? Again, red below the blue, again, good upside. So we're pretty close to creating that bullish cross. Haven't quite done it yet, but again, that's another thing that you could look forward to if you're looking for a confirmation to jump long, all right? Finally, we have this chart that I'd made about a good 2.5 weeks ago. Basically, it was end of September, right? And I'd stated that we were looking at this triangle being created like this. And in these triangles, I'd stated that, after a big drop, you have A, B, C, D, E. From here, you should be looking for more downside if there is supposed to be bearish pressure. But in fact, what happened was the bulls actually picked up and defended this key monthly level, which is around 10,500, and they drove the prices up quite significantly, right? So this to me was the first sign. I think right around this daily candle was when we took some ETH long positions and we made some good money. And after that, what we were really waiting for was, let's see if we can come back and hold this red level. Well, we've done that now, right? We've done that. We've held the red level. We've held the Ichimoku cloud. We've held all the different markers that I've been talking about, from an hourly or 4-hourly perspective. So now it's not the time to just start looking for short positions. It's rather the time to think, well, why should I be short, right? If I'm seeing so many signs of the market showing me strength, showing me resilience, showing me, a potential bullish cross coming in the Ichimoku cloud, price held above, the key daily pivot and key SR levels that we're breaking above. These are the signs that we need to pay attention to. We don't need every single sign telling us, all right, it's time to be bullish. Generally, if you're getting all the signs to be bullish, that means most of the move has already been done and you're probably buying the top. But in fact, when you catch the move in situations like this where people are still generally uncertain, well, that's, in my opinion, the best time to get in and make some money. So like I said, even the stock market is kind of giving me signs of a potential turnaround, and turnaround in a sense that maybe from here after this daily hammer that we printed today, we might be able to take out this key high. And if we're taking out that key high, what I'm thinking for Bitcoin is we're probably taking out at least this 12,050 high. Okay, in which case, ETH is probably getting to at least 425, 450, right? Let me see. Let's check out Link real quick, which is my other favorite asset. So yeah, even in Link, I'm not seeing like a whole lot of sell pressure. You can see volume declining, and I was actually looking on Coinbase and Trading Light. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of sell pressure coming in on Link. This, to me, I'm thinking, okay, if the bears had to send this down, they need a massive red candle today or tomorrow, right? That would increase volume on this candle as well as the candle size. Right now, this kind of movement, these the three red candles that you see, these to me indicate it's mostly indecision and quite possibly a bit more of absorption that's going on. If there's absorption going on here in Link, well, then at least I'm thinking that we're probably headed from here quite possibly back towards this trend line, which is, again, another 10% move, even possibly back to this black trend line, which comes back from way the heck back here. Oops, let me delete this. See, this trend line comes from way back here in March. So that's, around $12.66, or it's possible that we get to this red block where we had all this resistance right here, and that's around $13 and all the way up to $13.50. And even from here, if we're getting to that red block, that's a good 20 to 22% move. So pretty solid, right? So in any case, the risk reward, the way I'm looking at it is, I think it's better to be in a bullish posture, in a bullish position, even if you're not largely exposed to big long positions. I think even smaller long positions is kind of what I'm looking forward to, because I don't know if I want to be short right now, because I'm seeing too many signs that are telling me it may not be the wisest thing. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? Like I said earlier, I'm probably going to be wrong if price gets back, below this area, which is these key markers right here, and it holds, and maybe even this, pivot right here, which is around 11,120. I think that's where I'd start saying, all right, I'm probably wrong in this idea. And wrong doesn't mean, all right, I'm completely wrong in the direction. It could mean that maybe we're going to retrace a little bit deeper, and then maybe we push back up. I mean, it's also possible that from here, we just dump straight down, start heading to 10,500, 10,250. Just doesn't seem to be the case right now. All right. I think that's pretty much it, folks. Yeah, again, hit the thumbs up if you like our content. And thank you so much for watching. Join the Advantage membership. Cheers.